listeners, Dave Cruz is here, and we've got a couple of cast members from Miss Saigon. Hi guys!
Hi.
So this is Jackie and Matthew, and you guys have some really cool backstories, but first we want to talk about the story of Miss Saigon, which is playing at the Academy of Music now through March 31st. So can you tell us a little bit about the show? Because for as much as I've heard of Miss Saigon, I'm embarrassed that I don't really know much about it.
Oh, sure. It's about the story of a Vietnamese woman, a girl actually, who's orphaned by the war. And she walks into a bar and she works there, and it's owned by a character named the Engineer. And she meets an American GI, and it's basically her love story and his love story and how it unfolds. And yeah, it's an amazing love story. Yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it just deals with themes within the war, within love, of course, but then it's not just love between the man and woman. There's like love over other aspects of country, etc., etc.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of like important themes on immigration and acceptance, which are directly relevant to now.
For sure.
It's an important show.
Are we gonna cry?
You might.
You might.
We might. Okay.
Zach is nodding yes.
Yeah, producer Zach is like, yes,
behind
you
the
will
camera,
absolutely
and
cry.
He's like, yeah.
Now, as Andy mentioned, both of you have great family backstories as far as your parents in Vietnam and how they got out of there. Could you go into that for a little bit?
Yeah.
I'll start. My mom was 17 when she met an American GI at the beginning of the war as well.
This sounds familiar.
Yes, it's very, very similar.
Are you getting royalties from this story?
I wish. And she had 3 kids with that marriage. So I have 3 half brothers from that. And yeah, and they moved to the States in 1984, and I'm here now.
Yay.
That's not my father though. And yeah, it's very similar to Kim's story.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not like my great-great-grandma, it's my mom.
Right.
So it's very,
It's
know,
immediate.
close
Like
to
it's
home,
something
yeah.
you can really
very
relate to.
immediate,
Yeah. Okay. And then
Yeah.
Matthew, tell us your story.
My parents escaped just after the communism took over Saigon. So my mom hopped on a boat. She was at sea for about 3 months, and she ended up in Australia. And my dad walked from Vietnam. He pretended to be a high school teacher, teaching Vietnamese. He got over to Laos and was trying to get into Thailand, which happens in the show also.
Okay.
And they turned him away, so he had to go back to Vietnam, and then he left again. And now they're both in Australia. So, yeah, they share stories similar to the people, not Kim, but
Right.
other people in the show.
Right.
Other stories, yeah.
For sure.
Does that make it easier for you guys to get into character for the show because you kind of have it in your family tree?
I mean, yes and no. I think it's like easier because we're Vietnamese, we speak the language, we understand the culture, but it's also difficult because it is our family's story, and so that emotional tie can be difficult at times when there's certain scenes or certain things that we have to do in the show. As actors, we have to sometimes remove ourselves to make sure we're doing it justice, and then we have to kind of dive deep. So it's a balancing act almost, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like though this is a story that's so important. Like Matthew, you had said it's relevant today, right?
Mhm.
But it's also, I mean, a great history lesson.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
what you guys just talked about with your parents, right? These aren't, like you said, it's not grandparents, great-grandparents. These are your parents that went through this, and that's something I can't relate to even a little bit, right? But it's going on.
Yeah,
Right?
and-
So that's fascinating.
And we're not like super old, not to say, you know what I mean, where it's
Right.
just happened. It
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
too long ago.
not long ago at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of the show seems over-dramatized, but also a lot of it is referenced directly from events that happened in history and in that time. So it's not so over-dramatized. It actually happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there is drama and there
Yeah.
is emotion and there is a lot of stuff. I hear that there's a helicopter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's right. I
can't-
wanted to ask you about the helicopter.
We can't give too much away, but it's stunning. It's something
Yeah.
directly that they brought from Broadway, and we're bringing it to different cities around the country, and so we hope that you can come see it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, okay, so Miss Saigon at the Academy of Music until through the end of this month. So you guys should check it out, and we'll have all the links wherever they are as you're looking at this, so that you can get your tickets and check that out. You guys, thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
Matthew and
you.
Jackie, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.